Bruh. What is going on, everybody? David Productions 345 here. Today I have another video for you guys, and this is going to be a two-parter. The first one's going to be filmed now, the second one's going to be filmed in the winter. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And it's going to be all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. What's the difference, and is it worth getting an all-wheel drive Charger RT, or should I just get a rear-wheel drive one? So this is my 2013 Dodge Charger RT all-wheel drive. So in this test, I'm going to be comparing the performance of it. I'm going to be explaining the differences, and then I'm going to be explaining the handling. We're going to be explaining the fuel efficiency and then the maintenance. And then I'm going to just overall sum everything up with pros and cons. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the video. Let me explain to you guys what all-wheel drive is. So this car is all-wheel drive, as you can tell, because the brakes are in the front of the rotor. And also, obviously, when you go behind the car, it's an all-wheel drive badge. So the thing with this car is, guys, is that the power is 40 in the front, 60 in the back. It's like 30 at 62, but basically 40 and 60. So technically this is a rear-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive, so there's definitely a difference. So obviously most people will just say, obviously all-wheel drive is better because it has more power to all the wheels, right? Yes, technically, but at the same time, the car could get the same 0 to 60 tests. So the all-wheel drive system, there's a couple parameters that forces it automatically in all-wheel drive. Number one is if there's slippage in the rear. So if the tires slip, it'll engage the front two tires. If the weather is under 42 degrees, I think it'll automatically stay in all-wheel drive. And also if the wipers wipe, I think 4 to 5 times consecutively at a higher speed, then it'll switch into all-wheel drive. So the car is pretty smart. You don't have to turn it into all-wheel drive yourself, but if you want to, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, let me show you guys real quick. All you have to do is press the traction off button and it'll automatically turn it into all-wheel drive. So next we're going to talk about fuel efficiency. So this car gets on average, I'm just going to say like 12 to 13 miles per gallon is what I'm getting right now. The car is mostly in all-wheel drive. When it's in rear-wheel drive, I would say it gets maybe 1 or 2 more miles per gallon maybe. So let's just say it gets 13 now and it gets about 15 when it's in rear-wheel drive. So technically you're taking a hit on the fuel efficiency part, but honestly, guys, I don't really care about the miles per gallon, so I just want my car to perform well. The reason it would get better gas mileage is because there's less drag on the drivetrain. If you're only having the power go to just the rear wheels, then obviously there'll be less drag because the front wheels are disconnected. These cars have front axle disconnect, so when the car senses it doesn't need the all-wheel drive, it'll disconnect the front axle, which is good because you can save gas mileage when you need to. And the next we're going to be talking about maintenance. So the reason I want to talk about maintenance, guys, is because technically with the all-wheel drive cars, you should definitely get 4 wheels at a time, which means if you get a flat here or if your tire is just bald on one side, it's better to just get 4 wheels at a time because you want your car to have the same tread all around, especially in all-wheel drive. I know some people run staggered wheel sizes, which means it could have 8.5 in the front and like 11 in the back, or 7.5 in the front, 11 in the back. Personally, I would recommend to just to stick with the same rim size and same tire size at all 4 corners if you have an all-wheel drive model, just because it makes everything easier. And also just the fact that you should have all 4 corners to be the exact same size. Also, these all-wheel drive cars have front CV axles, so that you have to take that into account. They fail at about 100k miles or like 120. Mine just failed, I think, like 3,000 miles ago, 2,000 miles ago. So definitely got to take that into account. Not hard to do, but I just want to mention that in terms of the maintenance aspect. So guys, we made it to the designated performance spot. You guys can see I have all this room. This is done in a safe area, guys, so make sure to stay safe. Here's my first camera, is going to be my phone, going to be recording the slow-mo. I was debating, guys, on using this camera on the other side, but I don't know if I'm really going to, but we'll see, because it's only me today, so I only have a 1-person film crew. So I just wanted to mention a few things about the cornering and handling. But real quickly, the steering wheel feels a lot stiffer when you're cornering in all-wheel drive because the front 2 wheels are engaged instead of just the rear two. And finally, the rear wheel drive cornering feels smoother. So now we're going to be doing the 0 to 60 test. I'm going to be doing 2 in rear wheel drive, 2 in all wheel drive. Also, I also want to mention that the tires are a big factor. So that's why only using my car is a good idea, because the same tires, same rims, same all that, so the same weight. So in order for me to achieve the rear wheel drive, I need to use a taser to force the car into rear wheel drive. And same with all wheel drive, so it's more fair. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the 0 to 60 times. So the first test is going to be force rear wheel drive. 3, 2, 1. Test 2, 3, 2, 1, go. Third test is going to be traction control fully off. 3, 2, 1, go. Last test, force rear wheel drive, traction off. 3, 2, 1, go. First test in force all-wheel drive with sport mode on, same settings as the first 2 tests. 3, 2, 1. Same thing, force all-wheel drive. 3, 2, 1, go. So as of right now, the all-wheel drive is winning by 0.2 seconds. Last test with just the traction off. If I hold the traction button like I did for the rear-wheel drive one, it will not work. So 3, 2, 1. The last part of the video, guys, I want to sum everything up and also talk about personal preferences and needs. So number 1, overall, the all-wheel drive performed better. So I put the data into a table, and then the red is the experiment, which didn't count, and then green is the average. The all-wheel drive wins by 0.0333 repeating. I also put the information into a horizontal bar chart just to make it look more visually appealing for you guys, but the all-wheel drive wins barely by 0.033 repeating. It all depends on tire spin, wheel spin, and how you basically launch the car. Basically what I did, foot was all the way down on the brake, and then when I said go, release the brake, hit the gas. So the next part of the video, I want to talk about specific needs. So if you live in an area with winter weather like I do, with the winters being a little bit more harsher than normal, definitely get an all-wheel drive model, just because the all-wheel drive is better in the winter and it grips better. If you have one vehicle like me, rear-wheel drive would not be preferred in the winter time, just because you would need winter tires. So some people have told me that the rear-wheel drive cars perform all right in the winter, and they perform pretty good in the winter, but in my experiences with my testing, they're not that great in the winter. I put it in rear-wheel drive in a parking lot just to test to see if the car would move. The car was stuck. Like, I could hear the tires just spinning. So also just wanted to mention, winter tires on these cars are definitely a must. Definitely get some good ones. Get some Blizzaks. There's a bunch of them, a bunch of different models. I have the DMV2 Blizzaks, but there's like the WS80s are pretty common. But anyways, guys, that's it. Basically just what your personal preferences. If you want to use all-wheel drive like I do, it's really good to launch the car, because you guys had seen in the clips before when I launched the car just went like shh. In rear-wheel drive, sometimes the car would be fishtailing like this, and you guys could probably see in the first-person view with the GoPro. But like preferably for me, honestly, all-wheel drive is the better option, because you can switch it into rear-wheel drive if you want to and lock it in. And with the rear-wheel drive models, you can only have it in rear-wheel drive. The advantages of the rear-wheel drive option would just include getting rims easier, and also tire sizes. You can kind of run staggered ones, but I've heard people run staggered tire sizes on their all-wheel drive models as well. Anyways, guys, that is the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It took me a while to edit because I had to sync everything together. But anyways, guys, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn your notification bell on. Make sure to share the video with your friends. Without further ado, guys, see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.